Hi everybody, and welcome to my new channel where I talk about various topics. In this video, I'm going to dive into a review of the second episode of Dragon Ball Daima English dub. I am only going to react to the English dub version. Excuse me, I made some notes on my phone about some of the things that I forgot from the first episode, so the second episode refreshed my memory, and I kind of looked up some of the names from the first episode without giving away spoilers. I'm not reacting to, well, this is a review video, so I'm only doing reviews on English dub episode, not English sub episodes. And apparently the English sub is 12 episodes ahead of the English dub. So then, before I get into this, I want to make some corrections. I want to correct a few things for the first review video. It's a review, not a reaction. So I focus trying to black out, and I have to keep looking at my phone to make sure it doesn't black out. So, I'm going to make a few corrections. By the way, I don't do reaction videos because I feel like that's skating on thin ice with copyright. So I'm doing review videos, and I'm watching it on Crunchyroll. So, yeah. So English dub is available on Crunchyroll. That's where I've been watching it on. And the third episode will be English dub will be premiering this coming Friday. So yeah. So some of the corrections I want to make. Okay, so Supreme Kai's brother that we saw watching the Z Fighters fight all the way up to the most recent fight, which at that point was the Buu saga. Apparently, his name is Degesu. You let me hold my phone up. I made notes on my phone as I was watching it last week. Let me mute that. Yeah, Supreme Kai's brother's name is Degesu. He was the one watching with Gomah, one of the new characters. The Buu saga, where the fight with Buu. And apparently, when they saw Dabor getting eaten by Buu, they turned after being turned into a cookie. Gomah was pronounced as king by Degesu. Then Supreme Kai's sister, Dr. Janisu, am I pronouncing that right? I think I am. I don't know. Yeah, that's her sister. She came in that room. She wasn't in the second episode though, and I don't even think her name was officially mentioned in the second episode. But Degesu's name was. Let's see. So the new Demon King is Gomah, and they also mentioned Deborah's father, and in the first episode, and I forgot what his name was already. Then the elderly Namekian, his name is Neva, Neva, Neva. Am I saying it wrong? Looks like I'm saying it wrong. And apparently, Majin is some kind of demon race in the demon realm or something or other. That's weird, because during the Majin Buu saga, Dragon Ball Z, I thought Majin was part of Buu's name. Like, his name was Majin Buu. I thought that was part of Buu's name. So apparently, Supreme Kai's species, or race, whatever he is originally from the demon realm. No, I didn't see that coming. So let me go back here and maybe look at some notes. Oh, and also, I also forgot to get into something else from the first episode. Before I get into this, before I get into the second episode review, I forgot to go over something from the first episode review. Is Trunks. Goku mentions that a Saiyan retains their youth up until about, in their age group, up until about 15, and all of a sudden, whoop, they grow up fast. However, in the history of Trunks, we see evidence that Trunks aged normally. And actually, even through Dragon Ball Z, Gohan seemed to age normally also. And if you want to argue that the history of Trunks wasn't canon, which I'm not sure if it is, but even if it's not, it was like there was flashback in Dragon Ball Super when future Trunks was dealing with Zamasu and Goku Black. He does flashback. Future Trunks does flashback to that episode. It went to the two scenes that took place during the history of Trunks. Okay? And if you want to look at that timeline, if you do the math, the history of Trunks timeline should take place right around the time as Golden Frieza. Somewhere around that area. Because if you do the math, that would be the 13 years later, which is how old Trunks is supposed to be. Well, actually, if Trunks is supposed to be 14, it's Goten who's supposed to be 13 at this point. So, that's another thing. Now, Goten, no, we don't know, but throughout Dragon Ball Z, we did see Gohan aging normally. Although we didn't see him through his adolescent years, or at least his early adolescent years. But we did see him aging normally, and in future Trunks, in our history of Trunks, we also saw him aging normally. So maybe it is only pure-blooded Saiyans that should only age slowly. That should only apply to pure-blooded, or at least 50-50 chance with half Saiyans. Because we already saw future Trunks, okay? That's a rant for another video. So now, this is a long review, I mean long introduction, long correction, and it's already 8 minutes into the video. So, let me refresh my memory on these notes I made. Let's see. Oh, also, something else that I forgot to mention. Okay, so, during the Cell game saga, after Cell killed those soldiers who tried to take on Cell, we tried to take him on, Goku asked Piccolo if it was possible for him to separate from Kami so that they can have the Dragon Balls. When Goku found out that he couldn't, he went to King Kai's planet looking for the Namek to try to find a new Guardian. Yeah, that's the name of that episode, Dragon Ball Z, a new Guardian. Then he found new Namek, brought Dende back, and it is revealed that, in fact, Piccolo was concerned that, let me go back up, okay, Krillin wanted Dende to make the dragon grant 3 wishes like on Namek. But Piccolo was concerned that it would weaken the dragon. So Dende, all he did was rechannel the energy, which gave it the ability to grant 2 wishes instead of 3. And it's been consistent with 2 wishes throughout Dragon Ball Z, and all of a sudden became 3 wishes during Dragon Ball Super. Dang. Whew. So, let's get into this. Okay, so another new character showed up named Glorio. You should have about to look out. And in the first episode, Glorio was seen kind of hiding in the shadows, sort of spying on Degesu and Gomah. And that elderly Namekian, is it Neva? I don't think I'm saying his name right. I do not think I'm saying his name right. So, his name is Neva. Anyways, and because of his appearance, I initially thought that he must be a relative of King Kai. Supreme Kai, because he kinda resembled him a little bit. Like another brother or something. Like, I don't know how many siblings Supreme Kai has. But Supreme Kai didn't even know who he was and was a little suspicious of him. So, as of right now, his motives is unknown, and that's kind of where the episode left off. Everybody got turned into kids. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Supreme Kai found out that his brother Degesu was involved, and I think he also found out that Gomah has something to do with it. And apparently, Supreme Kai had a ship which became damaged during the battle with Goku's battle with Kid Buu or something like that, which he originally came from the demon world. Or they arrived in the realm of the Kais from the realm of the demons or some other. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, I also found the strength that the down simply from that, since apparently Supreme Kai is millions and millions of years old, and he has been the Supreme Kai for millions and millions of years. So, catching up on the episodes, like even Master Roshi was turned into a kid. He's probably enjoying his renewed youth, to be honest. I mean, he was already he must have been in his 300s, so when a guy who was over 300 years old all of a sudden gets turned into a little kid again, and retaining all of his memories, yeah, he's probably going to enjoy that. So, that episode is pretty interesting. So everybody got turned into kids. The Trunks and Goku, the ones who were already kids, got turned into babies, although they retained their memories. So it's pretty interesting where this leads us. And apparently, Glorio was not related to Supreme Kai after all. In fact, Supreme Kai is very suspicious of him. And I am sorry for that rant. Whatever you want to call it, for about the first episode. So, let me think if there's anything else. So, I made some notes. Also, Mr. Popo has horns. So I'm guessing, since it is revealed that people with pointy ears Okay, in Dragon Ball Z, which I think I already mentioned in the first one, from the originally from the Demon Realm. So I'm guessing that includes Mr. Popo, and this is the first time that this stuff is officially going to be mentioned in a Dragon Ball show. Before then, you wouldn't know any of this without looking it up. And I think that this kind of stuff should be mentioned in the show, to be honest. You shouldn't have to look it up if it's not mentioned in the show. Like, why even bring it up? Like, why create a backstory for certain characters if you're not even going to mention it in the show? Excuse me, I'm just going over my review. Oh yeah, Dende was also kidnapped, and they're trying to form a plan to rescue him. And that's when the Glorio shows up, and Supreme Kai is suspicious of him, and you know what? We don't really know what his motives are. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting episode, and if I ignore some minor plot holes that I mentioned in the first review and went over in this review, this could be a pretty decent series. Not much different than GT. I mean, GT has some plot holes itself, but they're more. I kind of tolerate them. Yeah, I kind of tolerate them because they're not that bad. I mean, in my opinion, they're kind of like annoying, and it would have been better without the plot holes, but still, nah. So yeah, and this hopefully, like, it started off with these minor plot holes, and